in a dimension outside of time and space, in a weird, odd, hexagonal, possibly vertical or horizontal place. We travel to now, deep within the mesmerizing zone of the abstract, wherein we ask strange questions, like, why would I pay thousands of dollars for a machine that I can make myself? Or, why would I pay someone else to do something that I can do? Strange questions like these and more are not going to get answered in this video, because this video is actually about digitally encrypted witness samples. Alright, I'm done messing with you now.
Witness samples getting better. Holy shitballs.
For the purposes of this video, I'm going to refer to them as witness samples, but know that they're structural links. So the proper term is structural link, because that's what we're trying to do. Yet again, thank you, Carl Wells. It's a good foundation. So as usual, Wikipedia does not have glaring approval ratings for radionics. And that's partially because it is the intent of the operator that goes through the device and interacts with the samples in the wells to form the connection. Now this is quite a bit different than radio ergonomy, because in radio ergonomy there are the usage of accepted principles that have been tested. So then the next logical question in the series is, what is a rate from a radionics machine? Well, there's no answer, but some people make up the answer that it's a frequency. But when you see a rate, it's usually 3 numbers, and there's no word of hertz, or the measurement of period, or how many cycles per second. So evidently, it's a machine that's run by the power of your cognition. However, in radio ergonomy, we use a biofeedback mechanism. Essentially what we do is the machine generates a rate of flow of bion or orgon energy through the conduit of the circuit, and it also interacts with the electromagnetic field from your body, and those two things produce an interference pattern, which gives you an idea of the bion structure, pattern, and concentration of the particular witness sample that you're working with. It's actually measurable. I think I was supposed to do this before, but don't worry. Calm down and realize I'm not saying that radionics is quackery, and I'm not saying that it doesn't work. If it works for you, use it. Do your thing. What I'm saying is, from the scientific point of view, from what I've been able to prove in my labs, that radio ergonomy is very effective and it has objective results. I'll show that on the next slide here. Okay, so you're looking at this thinking those are coordinates, obviously, and you're quite right. These are the coordinates in about a centimeter square sample of the bion concentration of a water structure sample. You can also see that the rates were taken 4 times and they're very consistent. Like any scientific system of measurement, you need a name. So these are called radio ergonomy bion units for short. It's actually a graphical representation of the bion motility and concentration in a sample. How did we come to this conclusion, you might be wondering? Through many years and duplications of experiments of studying bion activity under microscopes through the creation of various formulae of orgonite, through experimentations with signals analysis, modifying and engineering new broadcast technologies not used, using conventional methods to create an understanding of the mechanisms involved in not only the motility but the concentration, duration, and function of the bion, and using known tools already in existence to verify broadcast, as well as augmenting broadcast with new parameters, and verifying those results through duplication using other means, and again, microscopic analysis, as you've already seen. Here you can see an actually much clearer image of a bion around the cell, and this is taken from a yeast sample that was cultivated from start to finish from grapes. So we have a bunch of different species in there and ages. And secondly, we have other devices created from knowing all the things that we know. And thus, lastly, Radionika 2.0. So why digital? So that's a really good question. So the reason we use digital samples is because we're broadcasting them over an FM transmission. It breaks it down into very simple ones and zeros that we're all familiar with if you've seen the Matrix movie. It also ensures the information is protected, but it's small enough to be broadcast on FM. And this brings me right to the point of encryption. First of all, the sample is encrypted with binary. The binary is converted from the trend and target information all formed into a very comprehensive description. Then what you would do is you would overlay this on top of the image of the target, and you would also include an image of the trend somewhere in that graphic. This is going to make a trend and a target into one picture. Well, that's all we have for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Come back again.